Imagine a world where the noise of modern life fades away and you're left with nothing but the wisdom of a man who lived 2,000 years ago. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, once wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." These words, penned in his letters, still echo with profound truth today. Seneca wasn't just a thinker of his time, he was a guide for anyone seeking clarity, resilience, and purpose in a chaotic world. His letters, written to friends and students, are more than ancient texts. They're a treasure trove of timeless wisdom, offering lessons that feel as urgent and relevant now as they did in ancient Rome. In this video, we'll explore 20 life lessons from Seneca's letters, each one a powerful reminder of how to live with intention, face adversity with courage, and find peace in the present moment. By the end, you'll walk away with actionable insights that can transform the way you think, act, and navigate life's challenges. So, if you're ready to uncover the secrets of a Stoic master and apply them to your own life, let's dive in. Now, turning to the first lesson from Seneca's letters, we find a powerful reminder about the value of time. Seneca famously wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." These words cut to the heart of a truth we all know but often ignore. Time is our most precious resource, yet we frequently squander it on distractions and trivial pursuits. Seneca believed that life is long enough if we use it wisely, but too many of us let it slip away, consumed by endless scrolling, procrastination, or chasing things that don't truly matter. In one of his letters, he lamented how people complain about the shortness of life while wasting hours on meaningless activities. He compared time to a flowing river, constantly moving forward, and urged his readers to seize each moment before it was gone. Today, this lesson feels even more urgent. With the constant pull of social media, notifications, and the endless demands of modern life, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters. But Seneca's wisdom offers a way forward. By prioritizing what's important, setting clear goals, and eliminating distractions, we can reclaim our time and live with greater purpose. Practical steps like time blocking, setting daily priorities, and reflecting on how we spend our hours can help us align our actions with our values. Seneca's message is clear: time is the one thing we can never get back, so let's use it wisely. Now, turning to practical applications of Seneca's wisdom on valuing time, let's explore actionable steps you can take to make the most of every moment. One effective technique is time blocking, where you allocate specific chunks of your day to focused tasks. For example, instead of letting emails and notifications interrupt your workflow, set aside dedicated hours for deep work and another block for responding to messages. This simple shift can dramatically increase your productivity and reduce distractions. Another key strategy is setting clear priorities. At the start of each day, identify the 2 or 3 tasks that will have the greatest impact and tackle those first. Seneca often emphasized the importance of focusing on what truly matters, rather than getting lost in trivial busy work. To eliminate procrastination, try breaking larger tasks into smaller, manageable steps. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by a big project, but taking it one step at a time makes it less daunting. For instance, if you've been putting off writing a report, start by outlining the main points, then write one section at a time. Seneca's advice also encourages us to reflect on how we spend our time. At the end of each day, ask yourself, did I use my hours wisely? Did I invest in activities that align with my values and goals? This kind of self-awareness can help you identify patterns of wasted time, like endlessly scrolling through social media or getting stuck in unproductive meetings. By applying these techniques, time blocking, setting priorities, and reflecting on your habits, you can reclaim your time and live with greater intention. Seneca's timeless wisdom reminds us that life is long enough if we use it well, and these practical steps can help you do just that. Now, turning to Seneca's profound insights on adversity, let's explore how he saw challenges not as obstacles but as opportunities for growth. Seneca believed that suffering was a test of character, a chance to build resilience and uncover our inner strength. In one of his letters, he writes to a friend who is facing hardship, reminding them that difficulties are not punishments but lessons. He compares life to a stormy sea where the waves may toss us about, but it's through navigating these storms that we become stronger sailors. Seneca encourages us to face adversity with courage and wisdom rather than fear or resentment. He often reminded his friends that hardships are temporary and that enduring them with grace reveals our true character. For example, he shared the story of a man who lost his wealth and status, only to discover a deeper sense of freedom and self-reliance in his newfound simplicity. Seneca's message is clear: adversity is not something to avoid, but something to embrace as a teacher. It's through challenges that we learn patience, perseverance, and the ability to adapt. He also emphasizes that suffering can strip away the superficial layers of life, revealing what truly matters: our values, relationships, and inner peace. By reframing adversity as a tool for growth, Seneca teaches us to approach life's difficulties with a mindset of curiosity and resilience, instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" We can ask, "What can I learn from this?" This shift in perspective can transform even the most painful experiences into opportunities for personal development. Seneca's wisdom reminds us that adversity is not the enemy of a good life, but a necessary part of it. By embracing challenges as teachers, we can emerge stronger, wiser, and more grounded in our purpose. Now turning to how Seneca's teachings on adversity can be applied to the challenges we face today, let's explore how his wisdom remains as relevant as ever. In our modern world, adversity often takes the form of career setbacks, health struggles, or personal losses, experiences that can feel overwhelming and unfair. But just as Seneca encouraged his friends to see hardship as a teacher, we too can reframe these difficulties as opportunities for growth. For instance, a career setback, like losing a job or facing rejection, might initially feel like a failure. Yet, Seneca would remind us that such moments can be catalysts for reinvention. They force us to reassess our goals, develop new skills, and discover strengths we didn't know we had. Similarly, health challenges, whether physical or mental, can feel like insurmountable obstacles. But Seneca's philosophy teaches us to focus on what we can control: our attitude, our resilience, and our ability to adapt. By shifting our mindset, we can view these struggles not as punishments, but as invitations to cultivate patience, gratitude, and a deeper appreciation for life's fragility. Personal losses, too, can be reframed. While grief is a natural and necessary response, Seneca would encourage us to honor the lessons and memories left behind, using them as a foundation for growth rather than a source of despair. The key is to ask ourselves, "What can I learn from this experience?" rather than dwelling on the pain. Seneca's timeless advice reminds us that adversity is not a sign of life's cruelty, but a universal part of the human experience. By embracing challenges as stepping stones, we can transform setbacks into opportunities for resilience, wisdom, and ultimately, a more meaningful life. As we move forward, let's carry this mindset into the next lesson, where we'll explore how gratitude can further enrich our lives. Now turning to the power of gratitude, let's explore how Seneca's teachings can help us find contentment in the present moment. Seneca often wrote about the importance of gratitude, urging his friends to focus on what they already possessed rather than longing for what they lacked. In one of his letters, he reminds us that true wealth lies not in material possessions, but in appreciating the simple gifts of life: our health, our relationships, and the beauty of the world around us. This perspective is especially powerful in today's fast-paced, consumer-driven society, where it's easy to fall into the trap of constant comparison. Seneca believed that gratitude could act as a shield against envy and dissatisfaction, helping us cultivate a sense of inner peace. By regularly reflecting on the good in our lives, we can shift our focus from what's missing to what's already abundant. This simple practice has profound effects on our mental well-being. Studies have shown that gratitude can reduce stress, improve sleep, and even strengthen relationships. Seneca's wisdom encourages us to start each day by acknowledging the blessings we often take for granted, whether it's the warmth of the sun, the support of a loved one, or the opportunity to learn and grow. As we embrace this mindset, we begin to see life not as a series of lacks, but as a tapestry of gifts waiting to be appreciated. Moving forward, let's delve deeper into practical ways to incorporate gratitude into our daily lives, inspired by Seneca's timeless advice. Now turning to practical ways to cultivate gratitude, let's explore some simple yet powerful exercises inspired by Seneca's teachings. One of the most effective practices is keeping a gratitude journal. Each day, take a few moments to write down 3 things you're thankful for. These don't have to be grand or extraordinary. They can be as simple as a kind word from a friend, a delicious meal, or even the comfort of a warm bed. Seneca believed that by regularly acknowledging these small blessings, we train our minds to focus on the positive, even in challenging times. Another exercise is to start your day with a moment of reflection. Before diving into your routine, pause and mentally list 3 things you're grateful for. This sets a positive tone for the day and helps you approach life with a sense of abundance rather than scarcity. Studies have shown that these practices can have a profound impact on mental health. For example, research published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that people who kept gratitude journals reported higher levels of optimism, improved sleep quality, and even fewer physical symptoms of illness. Another study from the University of California revealed that practicing gratitude can increase feelings of happiness and reduce symptoms of depression. Seneca's wisdom reminds us that gratitude isn't just a fleeting emotion, it's a habit we can cultivate to transform our outlook on life. By making these exercises a regular part of your routine, you'll not only honor Seneca's teachings but also unlock the many benefits of a grateful heart. Moving forward, let's explore how Seneca's lessons can help us navigate the pressures of public opinion and stay true to ourselves. Now turning to Seneca's timeless advice on staying true to oneself, let's explore his powerful lesson on avoiding the opinions of the crowd. Seneca often warned against being swayed by public opinion, emphasizing that inner peace is far more valuable than external validation. In his letters, he wrote about the dangers of seeking approval from others, arguing that it leads to a life of anxiety and dissatisfaction. He believed that true freedom comes from trusting your own judgment and living in alignment with your values, rather than chasing the fleeting approval of the masses. This lesson is especially relevant today, in the age of social media, where the pressure to conform and seek validation can feel overwhelming. Platforms like Instagram and Twitter often amplify the noise of public opinion, making it easy to lose sight of who we truly are. So, how can we apply Seneca's wisdom in this modern context? Start by limiting your exposure to social media. Set boundaries for how much time you spend scrolling, and be mindful of how it affects your mood and self-esteem. Next, practice self-reflection. Regularly ask yourself whether your actions and decisions are driven by your own values or by the desire to please others. Seneca also encouraged surrounding yourself with people who uplift and inspire you, rather than those who pressure you to conform. Finally, remind yourself that the opinions of others are often fleeting and irrelevant to your personal growth. By focusing on your inner compass and staying true to your principles, you can cultivate a sense of peace and authenticity that no amount of external validation can provide. As we move forward, let's delve deeper into how Seneca's teachings can help us build inner confidence and resist the pull of societal pressures. Now turning to the next phase of Seneca's wisdom, let's explore how to build inner confidence and strengthen our independence. Seneca believed that true self-assurance comes from within, not from the fleeting approval of others. In his letters, he often reminded his friends that trusting your own judgment is the foundation of a fulfilling life. He argued that seeking validation from others is like building a house on sand. It may look stable, but it will crumble under pressure. Instead, Seneca encouraged cultivating a deep sense of self-trust. One way to do this is by reflecting on your past successes and the challenges you've overcome. These experiences are proof of your resilience and capability, and they can serve as a reminder that you don't need external validation to succeed. Another key practice is to embrace your imperfections. Seneca taught that no one is perfect, and striving for an unattainable ideal only leads to frustration. By accepting your flaws and focusing on growth, you can build a healthier relationship with yourself. Additionally, Seneca advised spending time in solitude to reconnect with your inner voice. In today's noisy world, it's easy to lose touch with your true self amidst the constant chatter of opinions and expectations. Taking time to step back, reflect, and listen to your own thoughts can help you regain clarity and confidence. Finally, Seneca emphasized the importance of surrounding yourself with people who respect and encourage your individuality. These relationships will reinforce your self-worth and remind you that your value isn't determined by the opinions of the crowd. By following these steps, you can develop the inner confidence needed to navigate life with authenticity and resilience. As we continue, let's explore how Seneca's teachings on living in the present moment can further enhance our sense of peace and purpose. Now turning to the next phase of Seneca's wisdom, let's explore how living in the present moment can transform our lives. Seneca believed that true peace and joy come from focusing on the here and now, rather than being consumed by regrets about the past or anxieties about the future. In his letters, he often reminded his friends that life is happening right now, and every moment we spend worrying is a moment lost. He famously wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality," highlighting how our minds create unnecessary stress by dwelling on what might happen or what has already passed. To combat this, Seneca encouraged practicing mindfulness, a concept that feels incredibly modern but has its roots in ancient Stoic philosophy. One practical way to stay grounded is to pause throughout the day and take a few deep breaths, bringing your attention back to the present. This simple act can help you break free from the cycle of overthinking and reconnect with the moment. Another technique Seneca suggested is to focus on the small, everyday joys that often go unnoticed. Whether it's the warmth of sunlight on your skin, the taste of your morning coffee, or the sound of birds chirping, these moments remind us that life is full of beauty if we take the time to notice it. Seneca also advised against overloading your schedule with endless tasks and commitments. He believed that a cluttered life leads to a cluttered mind, making it harder to stay present. Instead, prioritize what truly matters and let go of the rest. Finally, Seneca taught that accepting the impermanence of life can help us appreciate the present even more. By recognizing that every moment is fleeting, we're inspired to make the most of it. As we move forward, let's dive deeper into specific mindfulness techniques inspired by Seneca that can help you cultivate a more present and fulfilling life. Now turning to the practical side of Seneca's teachings, let's explore specific mindfulness techniques that can help you stay grounded and present in your daily life. One of the most effective practices Seneca advocated for is meditation. By setting aside just a few minutes each day to sit quietly and focus on your breath, you can train your mind to let go of distractions and return to the present moment. This simple act of stillness not only reduces stress but also sharpens your focus, allowing you to approach your tasks with greater clarity and calm. Another technique Seneca emphasized is deep breathing. Whenever you feel overwhelmed or caught up in worries, take a moment to pause and take 3 slow, deep breaths. This practice helps reset your nervous system, bringing you back to the here and now. Seneca also encouraged the habit of pausing to appreciate the small moments of beauty in your day. Whether it's the warmth of a cup of tea, the sound of rain tapping on your window, or the smile of a loved one, these moments remind us that joy is often found in the simplest things. To make this a habit, try setting a reminder on your phone to pause and notice one thing you're grateful for at different points in your day. Over time, this practice can shift your mindset, helping you cultivate a deeper sense of contentment and presence. Seneca believed that these techniques were not just tools for relaxation but essential practices for living a meaningful life. By incorporating them into your routine, you can reduce stress, improve focus, and truly savor the richness of each moment. As we continue, let's explore how simplifying your life, as Seneca advised, can further enhance your ability to stay present and at peace. Now turning to the next lesson from Seneca's letters, let's explore his timeless advice on simplifying your life. Seneca believed that a cluttered life, filled with excess possessions and distractions, only leads to anxiety and inner turmoil. He saw simplicity as the key to peace and clarity, urging us to strip away the unnecessary to focus on what truly matters. In his letters, he often warned against the endless pursuit of material wealth and status, arguing that these things do not bring lasting happiness. Instead, he encouraged his readers to embrace a life of moderation where less truly becomes more. Seneca's philosophy was clear: the more we accumulate, the more we have to worry about. By letting go of what we don't need, we free ourselves from the weight of unnecessary burdens. This applies not only to physical possessions but also to mental clutter. Seneca advised us to declutter our minds by letting go of toxic thoughts, worries about the future, and regrets about the past. He believed that a simple life, free from distractions, allows us to focus on what is truly important: our relationships, our growth, and our inner peace. To put this into practice, start by taking a close look at your surroundings. Are there items in your home that no longer serve a purpose? Let them go. Then turn your attention inward. Are there thoughts or habits that drain your energy? Replace them with practices that nourish your mind and spirit. Seneca's wisdom reminds us that simplicity is not about deprivation but about creating space for what truly enriches our lives. As we move forward, we'll dive deeper into how minimalism, inspired by Seneca's teachings, can be applied in practical ways to bring more clarity and calm into your daily life. Now turning to the practical side of Seneca's teachings on simplicity, let's explore how minimalism can be applied in everyday life. Start by decluttering your physical space. Take a moment to assess your home. Are there items you no longer use or need? Donate, recycle, or discard them. This act of letting go not only clears your surroundings but also creates a sense of lightness and freedom. Next, consider reducing screen time. In today's digital age, our devices often become sources of distraction and stress. Set boundaries by designating specific times for checking emails or social media, and prioritize activities that bring you joy and connection instead. Another key aspect of minimalism is focusing on meaningful relationships. Seneca believed that the quality of our connections matters far more than the quantity. Take time to nurture relationships that uplift and inspire you, and let go of those that drain your energy or bring negativity into your life. Modern examples of minimalism, such as the tiny house movement or digital detoxes, show how people are embracing simplicity to reduce stress and increase fulfillment. By adopting these practices, you can create more space both physically and mentally for what truly matters. Seneca's wisdom reminds us that a simpler life isn't about giving up everything, but about choosing what adds value and letting go of what doesn't. As we move forward, we'll explore how cultivating inner peace, inspired by Seneca's teachings, can further enhance your journey toward a more balanced and meaningful life. Now turning to the heart of Seneca's teachings, let's explore how to cultivate inner peace. Seneca believed that true tranquility doesn't come from the outside world but from within. He often reminded his friends that external chaos, whether it's the noise of the city, the demands of others, or the pressures of society, can only disturb us if we allow it. The key, he argued, is to detach from these external distractions and turn our attention inward. This doesn't mean ignoring the world around us, but rather choosing not to let it dictate our emotional state. One powerful way to achieve this is through journaling. Seneca himself was a devoted journaler, using writing as a tool to reflect on his thoughts, actions, and emotions. By putting your feelings on paper, you can gain clarity, process difficult emotions, and create a sense of calm. Another strategy Seneca recommended is spending time in nature. He believed that immersing yourself in the natural world helps to quiet the mind and reconnect with what truly matters. Whether it's a walk in the woods, sitting by a river, or simply observing the stars, nature has a way of grounding us and reminding us of life's simplicity. These practices, journaling and spending time in nature, are not just ancient wisdom but are backed by modern science as effective ways to reduce stress and improve mental well-being. By focusing on your inner world and creating moments of stillness, you can build a foundation of peace that remains steady, even when the world around you feels chaotic. As we continue, we'll delve deeper into how to overcome inner turmoil and maintain this sense of calm in the face of life's challenges. Now, turning to the next challenge, let's explore how to overcome inner turmoil. Seneca understood that emotions like anger, jealousy, and fear can disrupt our inner peace, but he also believed that these feelings are not beyond our control. He taught that the first step in managing these emotions is to recognize them for what they are: temporary reactions, not permanent truths. Anger, for example, often arises from unmet expectations or perceived injustices. Seneca advised that instead of lashing out, we should pause and ask ourselves whether the situation truly warrants such a strong reaction. He famously said, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." By giving yourself time to cool down, you can respond with reason rather than emotion. Jealousy, on the other hand, stems from comparing ourselves to others. Seneca warned against this habit, reminding us that everyone's journey is unique. Instead of envying what others have, focus on appreciating your own path and the progress you've made. Fear, too, can be tamed by shifting your perspective. Seneca encouraged his friends to confront their fears head-on, asking, "What's the worst that could happen?" Often, we realize that our fears are exaggerated, and this realization can help us face them with courage. To maintain equanimity, Seneca suggested practicing self-awareness and mindfulness. By regularly checking in with yourself and observing your emotions without judgment, you can prevent them from spiraling out of control. He also emphasized the importance of cultivating virtues like patience, humility, and gratitude, which act as antidotes to inner turmoil. These practices, though simple, require consistent effort, but as Seneca reminds us, the reward is a life of greater peace and resilience. As we move forward, we'll explore how to apply these lessons in modern-day situations, ensuring that Seneca's wisdom remains as relevant today as it was in ancient times. Now, turning to the next lesson, let's explore Seneca's timeless wisdom on contentment. Seneca believed that true happiness doesn't come from accumulating wealth or chasing status, but from appreciating what we already have. He warned against the endless pursuit of more, calling it a trap that leads to dissatisfaction and anxiety. In one of his letters, he wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." This idea is especially relevant in today's consumer-driven society, where we're constantly bombarded with messages telling us we need the latest gadgets, the trendiest clothes, or the most luxurious lifestyles. Seneca reminds us that this endless cycle of desire only leaves us feeling emptier. Instead, he encouraged us to focus on the simple joys of life: good health, meaningful relationships, and the freedom to live authentically. He taught that contentment comes from within, not from external possessions. To practice this, Seneca suggested regularly reflecting on what you already have and expressing gratitude for it. He believed that by shifting our focus from what we lack to what we possess, we can find peace and fulfillment. This lesson is a powerful antidote to the stress and dissatisfaction that often come with modern life. By embracing Seneca's teachings, we can break free from the cycle of comparison and learn to live with gratitude and contentment. As we move forward, we'll delve deeper into how to apply this wisdom in practical ways, ensuring that Seneca's insights continue to guide us toward a more fulfilling life. Now turning to the next phase of this lesson, let's explore how we can actively find fulfillment by embracing Seneca's teachings on simplicity. Seneca believed that the key to contentment lies not in acquiring more, but in appreciating what we already possess. He often reminded his readers that the pursuit of material wealth and status is a never-ending race, one that leaves us perpetually unsatisfied. Instead, he encouraged us to take stock of the blessings we already have, no matter how small they may seem. One practical way to apply this wisdom is by practicing gratitude daily. Seneca suggested setting aside time each day to reflect on the things you're thankful for. This could be as simple as appreciating your health, the support of loved ones, or even the beauty of nature around you. By focusing on these gifts, we shift our mindset from scarcity to abundance, which helps us feel more fulfilled and at peace. Another powerful exercise Seneca recommended is to imagine losing the things you currently have. This might sound counterintuitive, but it's a profound way to realize how much you truly value them. For example, think about what life would be like without your family, your home, or even your ability to see or walk. This exercise helps us recognize the worth of what we often take for granted and deepens our appreciation for the present moment. Seneca also warned against the trap of comparison, which he saw as a major source of discontent. In today's world, where social media constantly showcases curated highlights of others' lives, it's easy to fall into the habit of comparing ourselves to others. But Seneca reminds us that true fulfillment comes from within, not from measuring ourselves against someone else's achievements or possessions. Instead of envying what others have, focus on cultivating your own inner peace and living in alignment with your values. To put this into practice, try limiting your exposure to social media or other platforms that fuel comparison. Instead, spend that time engaging in activities that bring you joy and align with your priorities. Whether it's reading, spending time with loved ones, or pursuing a hobby, these moments of simplicity can help you reconnect with what truly matters. By embracing Seneca's advice, we can break free from the cycle of endless desire and find lasting fulfillment in the simplicity of life. As we move forward, we'll explore how these practices can be integrated into our daily routines, ensuring that Seneca's wisdom continues to guide us toward a more meaningful and contented existence. Now turning to the next phase of this lesson, let's delve into Seneca's concept of premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. This Stoic practice involves mentally preparing for potential challenges or setbacks before they occur. Seneca believed that by anticipating difficulties, we can reduce the fear and anxiety that often accompany uncertainty. Instead of being caught off guard, we can approach life's inevitable hardships with a sense of calm and readiness. Imagine, for example, that you're preparing for an important presentation at work. Instead of worrying about what could go wrong, Seneca would encourage you to visualize the worst-case scenarios, perhaps technical issues, tough questions from the audience, or even forgetting your line. By mentally rehearsing these possibilities, you can develop strategies to handle them effectively. This not only builds confidence, but also helps you stay composed if things don't go as planned. In modern life, this practice can be applied to a wide range of situations. Let's say you're worried about losing your job. Instead of letting fear paralyze you, take a moment to consider what steps you would take if it happened. Would you update your resume, network with colleagues, or explore new career paths? By thinking through these actions in advance, you transform anxiety into preparedness, making the situation feel more manageable. Seneca also emphasized that this exercise isn't about dwelling on negativity, but about building resilience. By acknowledging that life is unpredictable, we can better appreciate the good moments and face the tough ones with courage. For instance, if you're concerned about a loved one's health, reflecting on the possibility of illness can inspire you to cherish the time you have together and take proactive steps to support their well-being. The key takeaway here is that preparing for the worst doesn't mean expecting the worst. It's about equipping yourself with the mental tools to navigate life's uncertainties with grace and strength. As we move forward, we'll explore how this practice can be integrated into your daily routine, helping you build the resilience needed to thrive in an ever-changing world. Now turning to the next phase of this lesson, let's explore how preparing for adversity can make us stronger. Seneca believed that resilience isn't just about enduring hardships, but about transforming them into opportunities for growth. By anticipating challenges, we not only reduce fear but also cultivate a mindset that sees obstacles as stepping stones rather than roadblocks. Seneca often reminded his friends that life's uncertainties are inevitable, but our response to them is within our control. He encouraged them to face difficulties with courage and equanimity, qualities that come from mental preparation. For example, if you're worried about a financial setback, Seneca would advise you to reflect on how you've overcome similar challenges in the past. This reflection not only builds confidence but also reminds you of your inner strength and resourcefulness. Another way to build resilience is by practicing gratitude even in the face of adversity. Seneca suggested that by focusing on what we still have rather than what we've lost, we can maintain a sense of perspective and hope. Imagine losing a job but recognizing the skills and relationships you've gained along the way. This shift in mindset can help you approach the situation with determination rather than despair. Seneca also emphasized the importance of community in building resilience. He believed that surrounding ourselves with supportive, like-minded individuals can provide strength and encouragement during tough times. Whether it's seeking advice from a mentor or leaning on friends for emotional support, these connections remind us that we're not alone in our struggles. Ultimately, Seneca's teachings remind us that resilience is a skill we can develop through practice. By preparing for adversity, reflecting on our strengths, and leaning on our communities, we can face life's uncertainties with courage and grace. As we move forward, we'll explore how these principles can be applied to everyday life, helping you build the resilience needed to thrive in an ever-changing world. Now turning to the next phase of this lesson, let's explore Seneca's wisdom on the importance of choosing your friends wisely. Seneca believed that the people we surround ourselves with have a profound impact on our character and well-being. He often warned against the dangers of associating with those who lack virtue or integrity, as their influence can subtly erode our own values and peace of mind. Seneca emphasized that true friendship should be rooted in mutual respect, shared values, and a commitment to growth. He saw friendships as a partnership where both individuals inspire and challenge each other to become better versions of themselves. For example, if you're striving to live a more disciplined life, surrounding yourself with friends who value self-control and perseverance can reinforce your own efforts. On the other hand, spending time with those who indulge in excess or negativity can make it harder to stay true to your goals. To cultivate meaningful friendships, Seneca advised being intentional about the company you keep. Start by reflecting on the qualities you admire in others, such as honesty, kindness, or resilience, and seek out individuals who embody those traits. It's not about the number of friends you have, but the depth of the connections you build. A few genuine, supportive relationships can have a far greater impact on your life than a large circle of superficial acquaintances. Another key aspect of Seneca's teachings is the importance of being a good friend yourself. He believed that friendship is a two-way street requiring effort, empathy, and accountability. Show up for your friends in meaningful ways, whether it's offering a listening ear during tough times or celebrating their successes. By nurturing these qualities in yourself, you'll naturally attract like-minded individuals who value and reciprocate your efforts. Ultimately, Seneca's advice reminds us that the company we keep is a reflection of who we are and who we aspire to be. By choosing friends who uplift and inspire us, we create an environment that supports our growth and well-being. As we move forward, we'll explore how to identify and distance ourselves from toxic relationships, ensuring that our social circles remain a source of strength rather than stress. Now turning to the next phase of this lesson, let's delve deeper into Seneca's advice on letting go of toxic relationships. While surrounding yourself with positive influences is crucial, it's equally important to recognize and distance yourself from those who drain your energy or undermine your values. Seneca understood that not all relationships are beneficial, and some can even hinder your growth and inner peace. He warned against clinging to friendships or associations out of habit or fear of loneliness. Instead, he encouraged us to evaluate whether a relationship brings more harm than good. Ask yourself, does this person inspire me to be better, or do they pull me toward negativity? Do they respect my boundaries, or do they consistently overstep them? These questions can help you identify relationships that no longer serve your well-being. Seneca also emphasized the importance of setting boundaries with toxic individuals. While it's not always easy to cut ties completely, you can limit your exposure to their influence. For example, if someone constantly complains or spreads negativity, you might choose to spend less time with them or redirect conversations toward more constructive topics. Protecting your peace often requires making difficult choices, but Seneca believed that the temporary discomfort of letting go is far better than the long-term damage of staying in a harmful relationship. Another key piece of advice from Seneca is to avoid engaging in unnecessary conflicts with toxic people. He believed that arguing with someone who thrives on drama only fuels their behavior and drains your energy. Instead, focus on maintaining your composure and refusing to be drawn into their negativity. By staying calm and detached, you preserve your inner peace and demonstrate that their actions have no power over you. Ultimately, Seneca's teachings remind us that we have the power to shape our social environment. By letting go of toxic relationships, we create space for healthier, more fulfilling connections. This doesn't mean you have to be harsh or unkind. It simply means prioritizing your well-being and surrounding yourself with people who uplift and support you. As we move forward, we'll explore how to cultivate meaningful friendships that align with your values and aspirations, ensuring that your social circle becomes a source of strength and inspiration. Now turning to the next phase of this lesson, let's explore Seneca's powerful practice of self-reflection. Seneca believed that daily self-examination was essential for personal growth and living a virtuous life. He often encouraged his friends to take time each day to reflect on their actions, thoughts, and decisions. For Seneca, this wasn't just about identifying mistakes, it was about understanding oneself deeply and striving to become better. In his letters, Seneca described how he would end each day by reviewing his behavior. He asked himself questions like, did I act with integrity today? Did I let my emotions control me? Did I waste time on trivial matters? This practice allowed him to identify areas for improvement and celebrate moments where he lived in alignment with his values. By making self-reflection a daily habit, Seneca believed we could gradually transform ourselves and live more intentionally. So how can you incorporate this practice into your own life? Start by setting aside a few minutes each evening to reflect on your day. You might ask yourself questions like, what went well today? What could I have done differently? Did I treat others with kindness and respect? Writing down your thoughts in a journal can help you track your progress and gain deeper insights over time. Seneca also emphasized the importance of being honest with yourself during this process. It's easy to gloss over our flaws or justify our mistakes, but true growth comes from facing them head-on. By acknowledging where you fell short, you can take steps to improve and avoid repeating the same patterns in the future. Another practical tip is to use self-reflection as a tool for gratitude. Seneca often reminded his friends to appreciate the good in their lives, even amidst challenges. At the end of your reflection, take a moment to note something you're grateful for. This simple practice can shift your mindset and help you focus on the positive aspects of your life. Ultimately, Seneca's teachings on self-reflection remind us that personal growth is a continuous journey. By regularly examining our actions and thoughts, we can become more self-aware, make better decisions, and live in alignment with our values. As we move forward, we'll explore how journaling can serve as a powerful tool for self-reflection, offering even more ways to deepen this practice and unlock its transformative potential. Now turning to the next phase of this lesson, let's dive deeper into how journaling can serve as a powerful tool for self-reflection, inspired by Seneca's letters. Journaling isn't just about writing down your thoughts, it's a structured way to process your experiences, gain clarity, and track your personal growth over time. Seneca himself often used writing as a means to reflect on his day, and his letters are filled with insights that came from this practice. To get started with journaling, consider using prompts that encourage deep thinking and self-awareness. For example, you might begin with questions like, what did I learn about myself today? How did I respond to challenges, and could I have handled them differently? Did I act in alignment with my values? These questions help you dig beneath the surface and uncover patterns in your behavior and mindset. Another effective technique is to focus on specific moments from your day. Instead of writing a general summary, pick one or two events that stood out and analyze them. Ask yourself, why did this moment affect me? What emotions did I feel, and were they justified? How can I use this experience to grow? By breaking down your day into smaller, meaningful pieces, you can gain more targeted insights. Seneca also believed in the power of writing to process emotions. If you're feeling overwhelmed or frustrated, try journaling about it. Describe what happened, how it made you feel, and what you can learn from the situation. This practice not only helps you release pent-up emotions, but also allows you to approach challenges with a clearer, more rational mindset. To make journaling a consistent habit, set aside a specific time each day for reflection. Whether it's in the morning to set intentions or in the evening to review your day, consistency is key. Keep your journal accessible and don't worry about making it perfect. This is a space for honesty, not polished prose. Finally, consider revisiting your entries periodically. Over time, you'll start to notice trends in your thoughts and behaviors. This long-term perspective can help you identify areas where you've grown and areas where you still need work. Seneca's letters remind us that self-improvement is a lifelong journey, and journaling is one of the most effective ways to stay on that path. As we move forward, we'll explore how Seneca's teachings on self-reflection and journaling can help us face one of life's most profound truths, the inevitability of death, and how embracing it can inspire us to live more fully. Now turning to one of the most profound lessons from Seneca's letters, we explore his teachings on accepting death as a natural part of life. Seneca believed that death is not something to fear, but rather a natural transition that every living being must face. He often reminded his readers that life is finite, and it is this very finiteness that gives it meaning. By embracing the inevitability of death, we can learn to live more intentionally and fully. Seneca's letters are filled with reflections on mortality, urging us to confront the reality of death rather than avoid it. He argued that fearing death only robs us of the joy of living. Instead, he encouraged his friends to see death as a reminder to make the most of the time we have. In one of his letters, he writes, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." This perspective shifts the focus from the quantity of life to the quality of how we spend it. To apply this lesson in your own life, start by reflecting on your mortality. This might sound daunting, but it can be incredibly liberating. Ask yourself, if I knew my time was limited, how would I spend my days? What would I prioritize? What relationships would I nurture? These questions can help you clarify what truly matters to you and guide your actions toward a more meaningful life. Seneca also advised preparing for death by living virtuously. He believed that a life well lived is one where we act with integrity, kindness, and purpose. By focusing on these values, we can face death without regret, knowing that we've lived in alignment with our principles. This doesn't mean we need to achieve grand accomplishments. It's about the small, everyday choices that reflect who we are and what we stand for. Another practical way to embrace this lesson is to practice gratitude for the present moment. Seneca often reminded his readers that the past is gone and the future is uncertain. All we truly have is the present. By cultivating gratitude for what we have right now, we can find contentment and peace even in the face of life's uncertainties. Finally, Seneca's teachings remind us that death is not an end but a part of the natural cycle of life. By accepting this truth, we can free ourselves from the anxiety that often accompanies thoughts of mortality. Instead, we can focus on living with purpose, cherishing our relationships, and making the most of every moment. As we move forward, we'll explore how this awareness of death can inspire us to live with greater intention and pursue meaningful goals, building on Seneca's timeless wisdom. Now turning to how the awareness of death can inspire us to live with purpose, Seneca's wisdom offers a powerful framework for intentional living. He believed that the inevitability of death is not a source of despair but a call to action, a reminder to make every moment count. In his letters, Seneca often emphasized that life's true value lies not in its length but in how we choose to spend it. He urged his readers to stop postponing their dreams and start living with urgency and clarity. One of Seneca's most compelling pieces of advice is to focus on what truly matters. He warned against getting caught up in trivial pursuits or distractions that drain our time and energy. Instead, he encouraged his friends to identify their core values and align their actions with those principles. Ask yourself, what legacy do I want to leave behind? What impact do I want to have on the world? These questions can help you cut through the noise and focus on what's truly important. Seneca also believed in setting meaningful goals that reflect your deepest aspirations. He advised against chasing fame, wealth, or external validation, as these pursuits often lead to emptiness. Instead, he encouraged cultivating virtues like wisdom, courage, and compassion. By striving to become the best version of yourself, you can create a life that feels fulfilling and purposeful, regardless of external circumstances. Another key aspect of living with purpose, according to Seneca, is to embrace the present moment. He often reminded his readers that the past is gone and the future is uncertain. The only time we truly have is now. By focusing on the present, we can make deliberate choices that align with our values and goals. This might mean spending quality time with loved ones, pursuing a passion project, or simply savoring the small joys of everyday life. Seneca also stressed the importance of taking action. He believed that purpose is not just about thinking or planning, it's about doing. He wrote, "Begin at once to live and count each separate day as a separate life." This means taking small, consistent steps toward your goals, even if they seem daunting at first. Whether it's learning a new skill, helping others, or working toward a long-term dream, every action you take brings you closer to a life of purpose. Finally, Seneca's teachings remind us that living with purpose is not about achieving perfection or avoiding failure. It's about embracing the journey, learning from setbacks, and staying true to your values. By doing so, you can create a life that feels meaningful and aligned with your deepest aspirations. As we move forward, we'll explore how Seneca's lessons on simplicity and inner peace can further enhance our ability to live with intention and purpose, building on the foundation of his timeless wisdom. Now turning to the art of emotional regulation, Seneca's teachings offer profound insights into mastering our emotions for a more balanced and fulfilling life. He believed that emotions, while natural, can easily spiral out of control if left unchecked. Seneca saw emotional mastery not as suppression but as understanding and channeling our feelings in ways that serve us rather than hinder us. One of Seneca's core ideas is that anger, fear, and sadness often arise from our perceptions, not the events themselves. He argued that we have the power to reframe how we interpret situations, which in turn shapes our emotional responses. For example, instead of reacting with anger when someone criticizes us, we can choose to see it as an opportunity for growth or a chance to practice patience. This shift in perspective can help us respond with calmness and clarity rather than impulsivity. To manage anger, Seneca suggested pausing before reacting. He advised taking a moment to breathe and reflect on whether the situation truly warrants an emotional outburst. He often reminded his readers that anger is a temporary state that clouds judgment and leads to regret. By practicing restraint and focusing on rational thought, we can avoid unnecessary conflict and maintain inner peace. When it comes to fear, Seneca encouraged confronting it head-on. He believed that fear often stems from the unknown or from imagining worst-case scenarios. To combat this, he recommended a practice called premeditatio malorum, or premeditation of evils. By mentally preparing for potential challenges, we can reduce the intensity of fear and approach difficult situations with greater confidence. This doesn't mean dwelling on negativity, but rather building resilience by acknowledging that setbacks are a natural part of life. For sadness, Seneca emphasized the importance of acceptance and self-compassion. He acknowledged that grief and sorrow are inevitable, but he also believed that we can choose how we process these emotions. Instead of resisting sadness, he advised allowing ourselves to feel it fully while reminding ourselves that it too shall pass. He also encouraged finding solace in gratitude, focusing on what we still have rather than what we've lost. Seneca's strategies for emotional regulation are as relevant today as they were in ancient Rome. By practicing mindfulness, reframing our thoughts, and cultivating resilience, we can navigate life's ups and downs with greater equanimity. As we move forward, we'll explore how Seneca's lessons on focusing on what we can control can further empower us to live with intention and emotional balance. Now turning to the practical side of emotional resilience, Seneca's wisdom offers us tools to not only manage our emotions but to thrive in the face of adversity. One of the most effective exercises he recommended is mindfulness, the practice of staying present and fully engaged in the current moment. By focusing on the here and now, we can prevent our minds from spiraling into anxiety about the future or regret about the past. Simple techniques like paying attention to your breath or grounding yourself in your surroundings can help you regain control when emotions feel overwhelming. Another powerful tool is cognitive reframing, which Seneca often emphasized. This involves shifting your perspective on a situation to see it in a more constructive light. For example, instead of viewing a setback as a failure, you can reframe it as a learning opportunity. Seneca believed that our thoughts shape our emotions, so by changing how we think, we can change how we feel. This doesn't mean ignoring reality, but rather choosing a mindset that empowers rather than paralyzes us. Practicing empathy is another key to emotional resilience. Seneca encouraged his readers to consider the perspectives of others, especially in moments of conflict or frustration. By putting yourself in someone else's shoes, you can better understand their actions and respond with compassion rather than anger. This not only diffuses tension but also strengthens your relationships, creating a support system that helps you navigate life's challenges. Seneca also stressed the importance of maintaining composure in difficult situations. He advised his readers to pause and reflect before reacting, reminding them that emotional outbursts often lead to regret. Instead, he suggested taking a step back, assessing the situation calmly, and responding with intention rather than impulse. This practice not only preserves your inner peace, but also allows you to handle challenges with clarity and wisdom. By incorporating these exercises into your daily life, you can build the emotional resilience needed to face life's uncertainties with confidence. As we move forward, we'll explore how Seneca's teachings on focusing on what we can control can further empower us to live with intention and emotional balance. Now turning to one of Seneca's most transformative lessons, we explore the idea of focusing on what we can control. Seneca believed that much of our stress and anxiety stems from trying to control things that are beyond our power. He taught that true peace comes from accepting what we cannot change and directing our energy toward what we can influence. This principle is especially relevant in today's fast-paced world, where external pressures and uncertainties often feel overwhelming. Seneca's advice is simple yet profound. Identify what is within your control and let go of the rest. For example, you can't control the weather, but you can control how you prepare for it. You can't control how others behave, but you can control how you respond. By shifting your focus to your own actions, thoughts, and attitudes, you reclaim your power and reduce the mental clutter that comes from worrying about the uncontrollable. This lesson is particularly useful in situations like work or relationships. Imagine you're working on a team project and a colleague isn't meeting deadlines. Instead of stressing over their actions, focus on what you can do. Communicate clearly, adjust your own workload, or seek support from a supervisor. Similarly, in personal relationships, you can't control someone else's feelings or decisions, but you can control how you express yourself and set boundaries. Seneca also reminds us that even in the face of adversity, we always have control over our mindset. He encouraged his readers to view challenges as opportunities for growth rather than obstacles. For instance, if you lose your job, you can't change the fact that it happened, but you can control how you approach the next steps, whether that's updating your resume, learning new skills, or exploring new career path. By practicing this principle, you'll find that your stress levels decrease and your focus sharpens. You'll spend less time worrying about things you can't change and more time taking meaningful action. As we move forward, we'll delve deeper into how letting go of the uncontrollable can lead to greater peace and fulfillment, aligning with Seneca's vision of a life lived with intention and clarity. Now turning to the next phase of Seneca's wisdom, let's explore how to truly let go of the uncontrollable and find peace through acceptance. Seneca believed that much of our suffering comes from clinging to outcomes we cannot influence. He taught that by releasing our attachment to these external results, we free ourselves from unnecessary stress and open the door to inner calm. One of Seneca's key insights is that life is unpredictable, and trying to control every outcome is not only futile but also exhausting. Instead, he encouraged focusing on the process, the actions, choices, and attitudes that are within our power. For example, if you're preparing for a job interview, you can't control whether you'll get the job, but you can control how well you prepare, how confidently you present yourself, and how you handle the experience. By shifting your focus to these controllable elements, you reduce anxiety and increase your sense of agency. Seneca also emphasized the importance of acceptance. He believed that peace comes from embracing life as it is rather than resisting it. This doesn't mean giving up or being passive. It means acknowledging reality and working with it rather than against it. For instance, if you face a health challenge, you can't control the diagnosis, but you can control how you respond, whether that's following a treatment plan, adopting healthier habits, or seeking support from loved ones. To practice this principle, Seneca suggested a simple exercise each day. Reflect on what you can and cannot control. Write down the things that are beyond your influence and consciously decide to let them go. Then focus your energy on the actions and decisions that are within your power. Over time, this practice helps you build resilience and cultivate a mindset of acceptance. By letting go of the uncontrollable, you create space for clarity, purpose, and peace. Seneca reminds us that true freedom lies in mastering our own minds and choosing where to direct our attention. As we move forward, we'll explore how this principle connects to the broader Stoic vision of living a life of intention and fulfillment. Now, turning to the next phase of Seneca's wisdom, let's explore the importance of humility and how it shapes a meaningful life. Seneca believed that humility is not just a virtue but a cornerstone of true strength and inner peace. He warned against the dangers of arrogance and the relentless pursuit of fame, which he saw as distractions from living a life of purpose and integrity. In his letters, Seneca often reminded his friends that external recognition and status are fleeting. He argued that chasing fame or seeking validation from others only leads to dissatisfaction and a fragile sense of self-worth. Instead, he encouraged cultivating humility, a quiet confidence that comes from knowing your own worth without needing to prove it to the world. To practice humility, Seneca suggested starting with self-awareness. Reflect on your strengths and weaknesses honestly, without exaggeration or denial. Acknowledge your achievements, but also recognize the role that luck, timing, and the support of others played in your success. This balanced perspective helps you stay grounded and prevents arrogance from taking root. Another key aspect of humility, according to Seneca, is the willingness to learn from others. He believed that no matter how much we know, there is always more to learn. By approaching life with curiosity and openness, we not only grow as individuals but also build deeper connections with those around us. In today's world, where social media often rewards self-promotion and comparison, Seneca's advice is more relevant than ever. To cultivate humility, consider limiting your focus on external validation. Instead, focus on the intrinsic value of your actions, whether that's helping others, pursuing meaningful goals, or simply being present in your daily life. Seneca also emphasized the importance of gratitude in fostering humility. By regularly reflecting on what you're thankful for, you shift your focus from what you lack to what you already have. This practice helps you appreciate the contributions of others and reminds you that no one achieves success entirely on their own. By practicing humility, you not only strengthen your character but also create a foundation for lasting fulfillment. Seneca reminds us that true greatness lies not in seeking recognition, but in living with integrity, kindness, and a quiet sense of purpose. As we move forward, we'll explore how this principle connects to the broader Stoic vision of living a life of intention and fulfillment. Now, turning to the power of modesty, let's delve deeper into how humility can transform not only our relationships but also our personal growth. Seneca believed that humility is the bridge to deeper connections with others. When we approach life with modesty, we create space for genuine understanding and empathy. Instead of competing for attention or dominance, we listen, learn, and appreciate the unique perspectives of those around us. This openness fosters trust and strengthens bonds, whether in friendships, family, or professional relationships. Seneca also saw humility as a catalyst for personal growth. He argued that when we remain grounded, even in moments of success or recognition, we stay open to learning and improvement. Success, he warned, can sometimes blind us to our flaws or make us complacent. But humility keeps us aware of our limitations and eager to grow. It reminds us that no matter how much we achieve, there is always room to evolve. In his letters, Seneca often advised his friends to reflect on their accomplishments with a sense of perspective. He encouraged them to ask themselves, what have I truly earned, and what has been given to me by circumstance or the help of others? This reflection not only fosters gratitude but also keeps us from becoming overly attached to our achievements. By staying modest, we remain focused on the journey rather than the destination, allowing us to continue growing without being weighed down by pride. In today's fast-paced, achievement-driven world, Seneca's wisdom is a powerful reminder to stay grounded. Whether you're climbing the career ladder, gaining recognition for your talents, or simply experiencing personal milestones, humility ensures that success doesn't isolate you from others or stunt your growth. Instead, it keeps you connected, curious, and committed to becoming the best version of yourself. As we move forward, we'll explore how these principles of humility and modesty tie into the broader Stoic vision of living a life of purpose and fulfillment. Seneca's teachings remind us that true greatness isn't about standing above others, but about walking alongside them with grace, gratitude, and an unwavering commitment to growth. Now turning to the conclusion of our journey through Seneca's timeless wisdom, let's take a moment to reflect on the 20 life lessons we've explored. From valuing time above all else to embracing adversity as a teacher, practicing gratitude daily, and avoiding the opinions of the crowd, Seneca's letters offer a profound guide to living a meaningful and fulfilling life. Each lesson, whether it's about simplifying your life, cultivating inner peace, or preparing for the worst, carries a message that transcends time and remains deeply relevant in our modern world. These teachings remind us that Stoicism isn't just a philosophy of the past. It's a practical toolkit for navigating the complexities of today. Seneca's insights encourage us to focus on what truly matters, to build resilience in the face of challenges, and to find contentment in the present moment. By applying these lessons, we can cultivate a life of purpose, balance, and inner strength. As we wrap up, I encourage you to reflect on which of these lessons resonate most with you. Is it the call to value your time more deeply, or perhaps the reminder to embrace adversity as an opportunity for growth? Whatever it may be, take a moment to consider how you can integrate these teachings into your daily life. Stoicism isn't about perfection, it's about progress, one step at a time. If you found value in this video, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Which lesson stood out to you, and how do you plan to apply it? Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on more Stoic wisdom and practical insights. Together, let's continue this journey toward a life of clarity, resilience, and fulfillment. Thank you for watching, and until next time, stay grounded, stay curious, and keep growing.